Okay, so what's your name and where you from?
My name is Dutchess and I am from Lincolnton, North Carolina.
North Carolina A&T, right? To New York City tattoo artist.
I started tattooing in undergraduate, just like learning little things. During grad school, I actually started my apprenticeship and started to take things a little more serious. Once I graduated from college, I had a job that I worked for a little bit in corporate America, but I really didn't like it, so tattooing was what I used as my back burner, if you will. And the guy who taught me how to tattoo, he passed away from cirrhosis of the liver. At that time, I wanted to get away, and my sister lived in New York at the time, so I just up and moved to New York to pursue my full-time career as a tattoo artist.
As a female and as an attractive female, do you feel like you're not taken as seriously, or do you feel like sexism is not really part of the tattoo industry?
Sexism is a major part of the tattoo industry. Not only am I a female, but I'm a black female. So I have two things that I have to battle with in this industry. And for me, basically, it's not that hard. At first it was, but because I'm such a confident and aggressive woman, it kind of works to my advantage. I like when people underestimate me. It's like my fuel to my fire.
Tell me about your first tattoo.
My first tattoo was an ankh. I got it when I was 15 years old. My father took me, and my godfather actually was a tattoo artist at the time. Well, one of my godfathers. And he basically is the reason why I wanted to become a tattoo artist. Just watching him work, and at such a young age, it just made me really thirsty for the knowledge to understand it a little more.
Now, usually people's parents shun their children to have tattoos, especially their daughters. How was your relationship with your father?
Me and my father, we have a very good relationship. I'm a daddy's girl. My father took me to school every day for my entire academic career as a child. We spent time together all the time. I played basketball because of him. I was an athlete because of him. So we were linked very closely. And when I asked for a tattoo, I asked because I was a straight A student. I was top 10 in my class. I was not having sex, so I wasn't really interested in boys. I was a tomboy, and that's how I presented it to my father. I asked him, can I get a tattoo? I'm not doing the things that all of the other girls my age are doing, but I do want to get a tattoo. And based on my reasoning, he agreed. And the fact that it was a tattoo of something with such deep meaning, he allowed it to happen. Had it been something a little less meaningful, or if I didn't have a logical explanation for it, he probably would not have allowed it to go down.
You mentioned earlier about being African American in the tattoo industry. How do you feel the state of tattooing is in terms of African Americans, black folk, and in general?
If we go back to the history of tattooing, you start to understand where it comes from, such as basically all of civilizations, which goes back to Africa, which is my heritage. Africans use tattooing as a way of identification amongst tribes, amongst different castes, different sects. And for me, I just feel like now tattooing is starting to come back into the hands of the people who it originated with. Just just like everything else in society. Black people, we have always been very creative, very in touch with our culture. So for this to be something that people took away from us and basically made theirs, at first it's hard to get into this industry as a black female. Black artists are very underrated in this industry, and it's basically because they are new to this industry if we go to look in this country within the last 50 years. Prior to that, blacks really weren't allowed to tattoo. So it's been a very untouched area for us. However, because of hip-hop, because of society, because of our culture, because of the trends, because of people wanting to be more individualistic and have their ability to, express themselves creatively through their body art, it has allowed our community to, regain that control and to show the world that we are talented too, just as talented, if not more.
What are some of the drawbacks or any negative experiences first, and then what are the pluses of being a tattoo artist?
I'd say the negative aspects of being a tattoo artist: people look at you, they judge you, they say that you're a menace to society. People allow you to kind of like keep yourselves out of their way just because of the uncomfortableness that they present in the environment. Another negative aspect of it, I would say, is it keeps you from, it's like a barrier, if you will, like a language barrier if you're a closed-minded person. I always say that my tattoos are my windows to my soul. And if you're open enough to allow me to let you see through them, I will. However, if you're closed-minded enough, I'll close them blinds and you won't see a thing. I'd say my tattoos are like a window to my soul. Either I can allow you to see through them, or I can close the blinds and keep you out of every part of me. I feel like, for me, tattoos are my gift and my curse. Sometimes it allows people who don't have them to want to come into my life and see what it's about. For those who do have them, it intrigues them to know more about my tattoos. All of my tattoos, they tell my story from beginning to end, from 15 till now.